A private school in Florida recently sent a letter to parents saying that if you vaccinate your kid is going to have to stay home for 30 days. Okay, so now this is the Centner Academy. Again, it is a private school that is in a, I guess, fairly affluent area of Miami. And so the leadership sent this email to parents, which of course contained a lot of false claims that vaccinated people could pass on so-called harmful effects and have a potential impact on unvaccinated students and staff. So, okay. Not harmful effects from COVID-19. No. But harmful effects from the vaccine. That's insane. What harmful effects could somebody else get from you having a vaccine? As opposed to, of course, the harmful effects of people who are unvaccinated who get COVID and spread it around willy-nilly, right? So now David Centner, one of the school's co-founders, told the Washington Post that the policy is a precautionary measure based on, and I love his evidence, numerous anecdotal cases that have been in circulation. Oh, good. Is it like a chain email? Is that what you're referring to? Forward. Biden is whatever, vaccineterrible.com or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing maybe he got onto egopatriotlovesguns.com or .org or whatever and saw this vaccine disinformation. It's like, oh, I got to write this down. Nailed it. Spike proteins literally flaking off like a lizard person's skin. Just, I mean, for every once in a while, you really gotta kind of bask in the stupid for a second, just to fully understand and appreciate it for what it is. Complete and utter mind-bending nonsense that just really, when you hear it, makes you lose all hope for humanity. How can you listen to this and not think, oh my God, these people exist and they walk among us. They walk among us. And I love how he says, well, I got my information from anecdotes. And so obviously, anecdotes, right? Oh yes, anecdotes, which are well known, of course, for being more accurate than science and scientific information, of course. I mean, all you got to do is just ask Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend's balls, and not the thousands of medical professionals who've done tireless work in studying vaccinations and have proved the efficacy and safety of it. I mean, of course, they have to be wrong. I mean, science evidence, who needs it? Who needs it? You know what? Dr. Carlson told me I don't need it. Now, the whole thing is again, it's bonkers. It's ridiculous. What are you doing? You're putting people at risk. Now, Centner continued. He said, the school is not opining as to whether unexplained phenomena have a basis in fact. However, we prefer to err on the side of caution when making decisions that impact the health of the school community. Ah, yes. So some of their other decisions, by the way, are making sure that their teachers don't wear masks. And that the vaccinated teachers, do not have contact with the children at all. So, and yet, here's the other thing, the irony, right? So they say that their school is based on the freedom of choice. And so that's, of course, to bring in anti-vaxxers and, anti-maskers and things into their school so they spend money and have this whole little COVID academy going on here. Can't wait to see what kind of genius, variants come out of that. Yay. But this, again, this so-called freedom comes with a 30-day penalty per shot for getting vaccinated. Now, again, that does not shed virus. You don't actually, the way the vaccine works, in this case, is there is no live virus in it. You can't shed it. There's nothing to shed. No living virus. Yet there was a math and science teacher that told their students that they shouldn't even hug their vaccinated parents for more than 5 seconds. Now, that same school, of course, provided all parents with mass exemption forms for the kids. So, again, they don't care about safety, and they certainly don't care about choice. And they're going out of that way. They're going out of their way to make sure that that school is actually more dangerous. And of course, they know it. They know it. And by the way, when state health department officials did visit for routine dining inspections, guess what? Teachers were told in a WhatsApp group to, when the inspectors come, that's when you should wear the mask. You should wear the mask to fool them, you see. Fool them into thinking that we are actually taking precautions, when in reality, of course, we're not. Because as soon as they leave, you got to take the mask off. Oh, wait a minute, what happened to choice? What about a choice? No, not when people are watching. No choice. No choice in the matter. And one more thing to point out. Centner Academy, obviously private school, which means tuition, okay? So their tuition actually ranges from about $15,000 to nearly $30,000 per year. So now, if a student decides, or I should say if a family decides, you know what, the best course is to get vaccinated, right? Well, that child has to stay home for a month. Again, this is after each shot. And then, so now kids aren't cleared for the Janssen one shot. And so, you know, you're likely going to get the Moderna or the Pfizer, and that's a 2-shot deal. So one shot, 30 days. The second shot, another 30 days. And of course, we ever get a booster, well, that's another 30 days on top of that. So now the scam here is, among many other things, that even when your kid's not in school, they're still getting charged tuition. So now at 30, let's take $30,000 a year. That's upward, right? Well, that equates to about $2,500 a month. So that means kid gets the 2-shot. That's $5,000 wasted of where the child is not in school. If there's a booster that is approved for children, and I'm sure there will be in time, child gets the booster, that's another 30 days, that's $7,500 in wasted tuition. They just take it out of your pocket where your kid gets, I mean, I don't know I don't even know what they actually teach at the Centner Academy. It can't be good knowing the how the founders actually, you know, how they stand on science. And so they're getting gypped once and then they're getting gypped again. And they're signing up for it. And by the way, if those parents do work, which they probably do, and they need childcare because their kid gets vaxxed and then gets kicked out of school for 30 days, well, that's an additional cost to the parent as well. They got to pay for childcare too. But I guess that's what they signed up for. That, and of course, as some of you point out, to make all the vaccinated kids leave so they really can have a den of unmitigated COVID. It's almost like they're running their own kind of experiment there to see how many people can get infected, how many kids can get infected or their families can get infected at a time. And yet they're the ones that also call the vaccine experimental. Fascinating, very fascinating. But hey, you know what? Children, and to be fair, children are not as likely as adults to get hospitalized from the virus. They handle it better, and that's good, but they are a vector, which means they can pass it on to parents, family members, and that's bad because those parents might not be vaccinated, or they might be immunocompromised. But hey, apparently that's freedom. It's the kind of freedom we have in Florida. Freedom to get COVID and spread it around and maybe die. well, too bad their freedom is holding the rest of the country back. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.